Let's begin. I'm going to invite our beautiful chime to sing. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in the Spokane Sangha. On Monday evenings, our wonderful facilitator, John, is here. And John loves to chant. And so it's such a wonderful opportunity to bring chanting into the practice. He unfortunately is under the weather. And so I am going to be guiding our practice this evening. For the month of October, we are exploring grounding practices. And a synonym for the word grounding is to pretty much calm the fuck down, right? That's what we're trying to do, right? Just chill out, peeps. Turn it down, calm down. It's easier said than done. We can joke about it. But really when things get stirred up, it can be incredibly challenging. And so one of the things that we can do in our practice is we can start to engage in a grounding practice when there's no stress. I mean, look at us. We've prioritized an hour to be here. This is a very calm environment. There's no pressure. There's nothing on fire. Most of us are sheltered. Most of us have been well fed. We're warm. We're clothed. Things are looking pretty good. And so we have a lot of conditions that will support our practice of calming down. That way, we can really concentrate the mind and the body to enact this calming sensation even more. What I'd like to do is also to bring forward energies in the body. The body is a foundation of mindfulness. And it's one of the first foundations that we can turn to because it's readily available. It is got so many sensations. And so we can tap into the body with great ease. I divided the body practices for our month-long exploration, beginning with the head, neck, and shoulders. And this week, we're going to look at the core of the body. The third week of October, we're going to look at the pelvis. And then finally, we'll look at the legs. So today, I'd like to invite you to bring your concentration to the belly part of the body. We're going to keep the heart chakra, that heart center, a little bit separate and suspended for our purposes this week. And so I'd like you to come into awareness of your belly. And just take notice in this moment. You've done nothing else but bring your awareness to your belly. And before you've really put your body in a posture that cultivates some ease, maybe you haven't slowed down yet, maybe you're still moving. It doesn't matter. Just pause where you are and bring your awareness to your belly. And I'd also like you to bring your awareness and wrap it around the sides of your body all the way down to your lower back and that lumbar spine. And if you're sitting down, I'd like you to take a minute, maybe even close your eyes. Nobody's watching. Take a moment and just gently arch your back, just your lower back. See if you can give it just a little bit of a sway. And then as you're exhaling, see if you can curve your back into sort of a C shape, and your belly's going to be tucked in. And as you inhale nice and slow, extend the belly, and see if you can arch your back again, just very gently. And then on the exhalation, curve your spine a little bit. see if you can fold over at the level of the belly, tucking the belly in. And then on your next inhalation, see if you can find a posture that's upright, strong, solid, but at ease. If you're sitting down, roll your shoulders back so that the heart is lifted ever so gently. Remember, this is the practice of sada, heart-led. Notice where your hands want to rest. My hands are, for some reason, they're palms facing down on my thighs near my knees. Breathe. Watch the belly extend as you inhale. And watch the belly contract as you exhale. Don't worry about your mind. If your mind is racing, if your inner critic is in the driver's seat of your life, let that be okay. We're just breathing. The mind is going to do what the mind is going to do. Today, for our grounding practice, we're going to use the image of a tree. Trees are very popular symbols in mythologies all over the world and have been symbols since ancient time. And one of the reasons for that is the tree's capacity to root into the dark, deep mystery of the earth, the unseen realm, as well as to branch, which is just another form of rooting, but this time in the air element, coalescing with the sun and the element of water. And holding it together is the core of the tree, the body of the tree. It has many layers. It has that protective layer of bark, like we have a protective layer of skin, the largest organ in the body. And then the internal part of the tree itself, the core, its rings, its pulp, its makeup. And you know, the thing about trees that's quite a mystery still is biologists still don't understand how a tree is able to extract nutrients and water from the root system and defy gravity and extend that nutrition out to all of its branches. So even trees are mysterious. They are beyond our knowledge. So too is the human body. It is a universe all unto itself. I'm using the image of a tree because I'm reminding your minds, my mind, my heart, your heart, of our interconnection. At the most basic level, trees require the same life-giving elements, minerals, forces that I need to survive. I need the sun and the rain and all kinds of nutrients, and so do trees. And trees are an even closer kin because their relationship to me, in terms of my exhaling carbon dioxide, they inhale it and they transform it and they exhale oxygen, which I inhale. So I am intimately, we are all intimately connected to trees. Bring your attention now to your core body and think of your internal organs. You know, you've got all of these neatly tucked, perfectly fitted organs, your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, your intestines, your gallbladder, kidneys. There's all kinds of fascia. It's a whole neural and vascular network going on there. Your diaphragm is there, an enormous muscle in the core of the body. Your lungs, there are bones, your rib cage is there. And all of these organs are working in your body night and day, often without my awareness, often without my gratitude. There is this extraordinary self-regulating, self-healing capacity within my own body that I often don't take the time to recognize. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're recognizing these organs that have taken abuse and neglect. They've also really enjoyed our nurturance and our care. These organs in our body recognize when we give ourselves time to rest. So often in the traditional mindset of recovery, there's this hyperfixation on what's wrong. And this is an opportunity to balance that a little bit and begin to contemplate and to remember really what's right. If you are somebody who has a negative habit energy of misusing alcohol, whether in your past or even in your present, your whole core body suffers the effects of this neurotoxin, not just your brain, your whole body. And yet it can detoxify you. It can work to cleanse out your system, flush out your system of these toxins. Your body knows how to quickly extract nutrients that it has been denied or deprived of. If you're somebody who struggles in your relationship to alcohol, some of the vitamin deficiencies are B12. And so anytime you take a supplement or you take in food that is rich in B12, Your body is like, yes, thank you. Your liver, if it could do flips, it would. It's so happy. And my point for bringing this forward is it doesn't take much. Your body is a faithful, merciful companion. Your core body is also a wonderful resource for your emotional landscape. If you have a core body, anything like mine, I have a tendency to experience anxiety in my gut, in my lower belly. And it usually manifests as kind of a sour stomach, sour belly. When I'm really stressed, I have a tendency to get heartburn. I have a tendency to drink too much caffeine, which exacerbates that. And then when I wake up to what I'm doing, it's so habitual. It's so mindless. I go unconscious. So when I wake up and I become conscious, I see what I'm doing to myself. I begin to pay attention to the little bells and whistles chiming in my own body, vying for my attention. And I pay attention. And I give my body some nurturance, usually in the form of healthy food, hydration, and rest. So, our assignment this week, and let's actually change that word. It is an assignment, but it's more of a friendly invitation. Feel invited to ask a question. When was the last time I truly nurtured my liver, my kidneys, my intestines? Do I understand what my gallbladder is doing on my behalf? Do I have any clue about my pancreas? Can I take a minute to do just a tiny bit of research and see about some foods that could be highly nutritious and nurturing to the core of my body? And in that whole practice, in that whole exploration this week, see if you can invite a spirit around it that is calm, gentle, anchoring, still. Look at the core of a tree. Its branches may be moving around, its roots may be sinking into the soil, but its core doesn't seem to move. Maybe that spirit can be in you, solid, confident, empowered, to be nurturing, kind to these organs that are such faithful companions. Take that in, friends, and just breathe with me. Friends, I'd like to end our practice today with a note of celebration, some congratulations for taking this 20 minutes or so to meditate and to recognize that the mind is doing what the mind does. And it's no big deal at all. Pema Chodron, I got the good fortune of listening to a lecture by Pema Chodron yesterday, and she taught no big deal. Let the mind do what it's going to do. And even if you fell asleep during this meditation, it's still in the air. It's still seeping in through your skin. It's still getting in there and being of benefit. It's calming the body. It's grounding everything. Ah, so good. Let's go ahead and end our practice with a dedication of merit. So, in the Buddhist tradition, one of the things we do is we take refuge. We take refuge in the Buddha, the human being who was able to deeply understand the causes and conditions of his own suffering, and by extension, the misery and malcontent that human beings experience by being alive. And he spent 40 years of his life teaching about it, teaching about this awareness. It's called the Dharma. And he gathered a group of people who were curious, and he called this the Sangha. And so to take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha is to simply know that this path is well known, it's well worn. There are many, many guides to support and encourage you along the way. You are safe and sheltered to explore your own mind and your own heart. And so when we come into this gathering and we hear the wisdom of the Buddha, we take that wisdom in for ourselves, but we don't keep it there. We're invited to radiate it out into the world. Your presence matters. The way you smile at a stranger, the way you breathe. If you notice yourself getting impatient as you're driving or standing in a long line in the grocery store for a coffee, anytime you can offer the world some friendliness, some encouragement, some compassion, you are taking the merit of this practice and sharing it. And that is a beautiful thing to do. I'd like to end our practice with a line from a poem by Francis Thompson, who was a poet who lived from 1859 to 1907. And I really love this line. It's a long, long poem, but I just took out this one line. And it speaks to the interconnectedness of life and how I mentioned our connection to the trees, the connection to the earth, the connection to the cosmos. And what he wrote is, "Thou cannot stir a flower without troubling a star. You cannot pluck or pick or even move a flower without troubling a star." And I take that to mean that you and I, as human beings, We really are the evolutionary magic of dying stars. We are bigger and more magnificent than we can possibly dream. To come into the refuge of the three jewels is to come home to our true self. Thank you for bringing yourselves here and practicing. You bless this space. Namaste.